Yeah, for sure. And one other fuel type or propulsion system that I think we should discuss before we wrap up this episode is hydrogen. And so there's like whenever I talk with people who like don't aren't really familiar with like EVs, they're always like kind
That's
of like
the
point to
solution.
hydrogen.
Let's go
Yes.
hydrogen. Yes, yes, that's
Hydrogen. And
it's
it
got
like
it's
it
got good
makes sense.
marketing.
Right? It's like it's technically carbon neutral, and it's like all this stuff, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, when you actually like do the math like you've done, and even like I've done some like price comparisons in like California, like
It's
Model
gotten
3.
so expensive lately. Like now it's even worse than when it was being hyped. And it's like now the prices are just insane.
Yeah, and so
Um,
this is actually like a side note because I know we kind of want to talk more about like the engineering, but like the like just financials. So there's people who will like buy hydrogen cars in California and Toyota, like certified pre-owned models, you can buy them for like 10, $12,000. They'll literally have to give you a $15,000 fuel voucher, and it's a duration of 3 years where you get free
yeah.
fuel just to sell these cars for like 10 grand because no one wants them.
I
And
just Googled it, and according to S&P Global, January 2023. Oh, this is January 23. I think it has gone down, but it says, oh, October 2024, $35 per kilogram.
kilogram.
That is the equivalent of $35 a gallon for gas.
And you need
This
5
is
kilograms in the
stupid.
Mirai, right? Isn't that 5 kilogram tank, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
So
Uh,
that's
but you get about 1 gallon of gas worth of energy out of 1 kilogram of hydrogen. You can go further because it's more efficient, but it's like paying, yeah, it's like paying 30 some dollars a gallon, which is crazy. Because
ridiculous.
even when the number was $10 a kilogram, like, it doesn't work in your favor. And then when you start thinking about synthetic fuels, which are all based on starting with hydrogen, yeah, you it's like if you're starting at $10, you're gonna get this gallon of gas, synthetic gas, at like $40. If you're starting at $35, what is it, $100 a gallon to like fuel your synthetic carbon-free car? Or you could just like buy an electric car and charge the entire thing for $7? Yeah, like
Yeah.
the math financially right now is stupid in EV's favor.
Yeah, because
But
like, even
anyways,
in
that wasn't your
Calif
question.
yeah, but, like, even in, like, San Francisco Bay, it's like electricity's a lot more money there, but it's like 25 cents a kilowatt hour is, like, miles better than paying $35 a kilogram of hydrogen, and you need 5 kilograms to go, like, 300-ish miles. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's not good.
yeah, pretty sad. But yeah, I think looking at hydrogen, so, like, people talk about hydrogen combustion as opposed to fuel cells, and
Yeah.
you've, like, shown that, like so I guess if we just want, like, an idea, like a 300-mile range hydrogen car, we would need, like the majority of that vehicle space would have to be a hydrogen storage, reserve, is that correct?
Yeah, so if you think about like people get excited because hydrogen allows for combustion and because it doesn't weigh very much. And so people are like, "Oh, it's very energy dense, right? Because it doesn't weigh very much." But like density is measured in multiple ways. One way is like by mass, one way is like by volume. And by volume, it's terrible. So it's between like 6 and 7 times for 1 kilogram of hydrogen, which is the energy equivalent of 1 gallon of gasoline, though again, the vehicles tend to be more efficient. But if we're talking about combustion, suddenly we're back at the same efficiency. Okay, so now we have 1 kilogram of hydrogen equal to 1 gallon of gas, and we need about 6 to 7 times the space to have the equivalent amount of fuel because 1 kilogram of hydrogen takes up 6 to 7 gallons of space. In it's compressed at 700 bars to 10,000 psi, which is like the standard for cars these days. Okay, so you need a fuel tank that's 6 to 7 times the size to match. Well, take any car today and try to make its fuel tank 7 times bigger. Also, it has to be a very specific cylindrical shape. It can't just be this whatever works within the body of the car. It has to be this cylinder. So suddenly it takes up even way more space than just 7 times that volume. And it's this huge object. So if you look at cars like the Mirai, like terrible trunk space, I haven't looked at a modern one, but I drove one of the first gens. Trunk space is awful. I would imagine the new one's also not that great, and that's with a fuel cell, so that's doubling its range. So if you use a combustion engine, you now need twice the storage that that fuel cell has in order for it to go the same distance. So again, it just like everything falls out of control. And if you look at, for example, Toyota did some great advertising with the GR Corolla or GR Yaris that was, I think it was GR Corolla, that was powered by hydrogen. But and they did it at the race, like Fuji race, all kinds of problems with it. But one of the things that was not visible to most people looking at the car is like they did not have any rear view. Like if you were sitting in the driver's seat and you look behind you, it was tanks to the ceiling. The entire back of the car was all fuel tanks, so they could have enough hydrogen for this thing to run like not that many minutes, like a little while, and then it runs out of fuel very quickly. And that's with the whole car, no back seat. Like everything is just full of hydrogen tanks. So it's like, yeah, it's just not realistic. There is not enough space in a car for you to run hydrogen combustion unless
Maybe like
you
a
just
trailer
like,
we could think of. Maybe that
yeah,
could be
if you have a trailer, but then like the whole idea that like why people want combustion to live is like, oh, it's fun, blah blah blah. It's like all of that